Okay, real talk. If an AI writes your book, paints your portraits, and makes your playlist, are you still the creative genius?
Hmm. Or did you just outsource your entire brain to a funky little bot?
Hmm. Hey, if the bot has taste, is that really a problem?
Until it wins an Ambi, then we riot.
Yes. This week, we're talking about AI, friend, foe, or funky creative sidekick.
Join us for the fun.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Adulthood is a Project, the show where two sisters discuss lessons learned and growth earned through the realities of life. I'm Charlie, and you all know my sister Casey, and we are your hosts.
In today's episode, we'll be discussing AI. We will also discuss the ins and outs of how helpful it is, or if maybe it's gone too far. Let's get started.
All right, let's do this.
Ah,
This is gonna be a fun one, and you're in charge of the quiz today.
I'm in charge of the quiz today. This one's kind of hard, but
Yeah, listeners, we were talking right before this episode. We're both like, man, the quiz. We love the quiz portion. Like, it's fun, but it is sometimes hard to come up with questions.
it is. It is. Thankfully, we've got the old chat GPT to help us out.
My buddy chat.
Yeah. Uh, all right. Are you ready for a quiz?
Oh yeah, let me just double check that I'm ready. Yeah. I hear a winning noise there. I think I'm good to go.
Okay. All right. What does AI stand for?
Dun, 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 dun. Artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like I like you lobbed a soft one at me to get started.
Okay. Now, what smart home device can turn on lights, play music, and answer questions using AI?
I feel like this might be a slightly trick question, but I'm not sure. Uh, I'm gonna go with um, Alexa.
Yeah.
I I
There's
didn't.
like three
Google
accept-
has that. What?
There's like three acceptable answers.
Because I was like, I think Google has that little round one too, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I forget what that one's called. But as like Siri, Alexa, or Google, is it Gemini?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't know Siri had all. I mean, I guess I should have figured it did.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen Alexa in play. Okay.
So any of those answers would have been acceptable. I was really throwing
Okay.
it out. Yeah.
I liked it.
All right. If you unlock your phone with your face, what type of AI are you using?
I'm being patient to give listeners a chance to think it through. Facial recognition.
There you go. You're on a roll, dude.
Starting to think I'm an AI expert over here. That's not true.
All right. Which Pixar movie features a robot left on Earth to pick up trash?
I'm going to take a stab at this one. Is it Wall-E?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That I've never watched it, but it has been on my watch list for years because someone's like, "You're gonna really like it."
It's a pretty cute movie. It's funny though. I mean, like, I feel like it's definitely where society's headed.
And that's where the conversation has come up with someone. They're like, "You should totally watch Wall-E." I was thinking iRobot, but I'm like, I don't even know what movie that is.
Oh yeah, that's a different.
Is that a movie?
That's not it. But you were right with Wall.
Okay. Okay. Yay.
Oh, hey, Dan, you're 4 for 4. Are you ready? Are you gonna make it 5 for 5?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to like get to your goal, your level that you got to once.
Okay. Okay. Which music streaming app uses AI to suggest songs you might like?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question?
Which music streaming app uses AI to suggest songs that you might like?
Oh Lord. Is there only one right answer on this one too? I was gonna go YouTube Music.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You could have said Spotify, you could have said Apple, you could have said YouTube.
The way you worded it, I'm like, shit, is only one of them doing it? And I was debating on Apple Play. And then I was like, is Google Play still the thing? I'm like, no, Google Play turned to YouTube Music because that's the one I use. And I was I'm like, well, I know they do that, or I think they do. And I'm like, if there's only one, though, it's probably Apple. Dude, I got 5 for 5.
Oh, way to be, man. I'm proud of you.
Finally up there in your winner's circle.
I wish I had like some champagne to pop for you.
I would not say no to it right now. We'll celebrate with some coffee.
Nice.
That was good because, when we were starting this to talk about this topic, I'm like, AI, like, oh, I have learned very recently, like in the past 2 weeks, how much about it I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we're experts on it, is what I meant to say.
Right. Yes, duh, Bobby.
It's one of those funny things, like, until like we started talking about doing this episode, I thought, I don't know much about it. But then in looking at stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we use it so much in our daily lives. For real.
Oh, you think like without noticing it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you just get on Amazon to look something up, it's gonna suggest things to you. That's AI.
It's like things you didn't maybe realize were AI.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Is like things that you didn't realize are AI that you use, like, so regularly.
Right. It's total side note on here. I was just at a friend's house the other day, and her son had gotten a phone for his birthday, and I guess I should have double checked. I'm 90% sure it was a Samsung phone though, because she's Samsung, I'm Samsung. But anyway, he goes, "Oh, what's this feature?" And he was showing me a picture he'd taken on a trip he'd been on. Like, I don't know what that feature is. He goes, "It's like you can search the image." What would you search a picture of your friend for? Well, he clicked it, and sure enough, the image caught his friend's t-shirt, and right below the picture starts showing him places he can go buy that same t-shirt.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I know.
And I don't think my phone's that old, but I don't think it does that.
I don't think mine does either. Mine's pretty old though.
Yeah, I feel like yours is done. Yeah,
I
I think
hate
mine's
getting.
like a 22 or something. I don't know.
I'm like I absolutely hate getting new phones, so I put it off as long as I can.
Same. Same here.
But also, I was thinking because I mean, okay, we get on social media all the time, and the algorithms on there, I kind of laugh because I get ads for my restaurant that I work at all the time. I get ads for it because my maps or my Life 360 sees me there all the time.
Right. They're like, you must love this place.
You must want to eat there all the time. I'm like, that's not why I'm there, but
You're like, listen. I remember this would have been years ago, when you'd get in your car, like put your map on. It's like, it's going to take you 20 minutes to get home. How did you know that's where I'm going?
right.
And it's like, because you drive this every single day about this time when you leave this particular location, you drive home. I'm like, oh,
Yes, because we getting. I mean, we all have our habits, right?
right. It is, there's so many things about it. Like some of it's like a little scary,
Yeah,
and some of it's like, oh, that is so handy.
yeah.
I I'm trying to lean on the more handy side because if I go on the scary side, I will spiral down a whole loop of the government's watching us. I'm like, okay, Charlie, of course they are. They have been for years. Enjoy. Like,
You know what though? I don't even
this is
think it's so
nothing
much.
new.
I don't even think it's so much the government. I think it's just companies. A lot of companies are
Yeah, true.
that who can we advertise to? Like who's our target audience? And they want to know your habits, which I mean, I guess I get it, but I'm also just like the more ads I see of yours, the more less likely I am to come buy your shit because I know you're spying on me.
Right. Well, if it's, I wouldn't even know the number, um, but everything you sign up for, whether it be your Facebook, your YouTube, or that stuff, right? They all have little agreements in there
Oh,
that they're selling your information somewhere.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, shit, even your Gmail.
Yeah. Everything.
So yeah, you kind
And
of can't like. I think probably maybe, and I'd be way off on this, but I would say maybe 10 years ago you could get away from it. Like you could like say, oh no, please don't do that, or don't share that, or don't share that. Nowadays, it's every app out there. I
oh,
don't know that there's any getting around it.
yeah, I don't know. But at this point, also, I'm kind of just like, I mean, sell whatever information you want. I don't, because it's already been sold. You know what I mean? Like, you already know it at this point. And
For real.
so, but because I remember like with Facebook when it first came out, it's all like, oh, it's free, and everybody kept thinking, oh, they're gonna make you start paying for it, and there was all those rumors about you're gonna start paying for it. Well,
Oh
no,
yeah.
you're not because I mean you're paying for it in a different way by selling your information to everybody.
Just as you started saying this, I was remembering, and I'm gonna mess it up, but there's that saying, if it's free, you're the product.
Oh yeah,
Is that the right saying?
yeah,
Or you're the,
I understand. Yeah,
yeah.
I think something like that.
And that was the Facebook thing reminded me of that because I think that's when I first started hearing that turn of phrases. If it's free, you're the actual product. I'm thinking, what? That makes no sense. Fast forward, 12, 13 years, whatever, the old Facebook's been out. And it's, yeah, you're definitely the product because here's your information. And then we've all seen it happen. I could sit here and talk to you about cowboy boots, and next time I'm on Facebook, I'm going to get about 5 ads for them.
Oh, absolutely. I know.
I said that one because I already get those ads, so it's fine.
So yeah, I think number one, like we all use it so much in our day-to-day lives, like that we don't even realize we're using it. I use it all the time. I mean, and also maps. I mean, come on, name anybody that hasn't used the maps.
Oh, for real. And I'll use maps if maybe I'm in an area I kind of know, but don't know everything around there, and I'm hungry.
Yep,
Restaurants near me,
always.
right? Show me what's around here, or whatever you might be looking for. That's the one I use a lot. And yeah, you don't think about that being AI, but it completely is. There's last week I just kept getting all these reels when I was scrolling, and it was about targeting people in their 40s. I don't understand why it was on my page at all.
That's weird.
Yeah, strange. And it was, if you're in your 40s, you need to disappear for a month, and we're going to teach you a new AI skill set every day for 15 minutes a day. And then you can master all this stuff. And as I was watching it, my brain's like, how many AI things are there out there? I I mean, my dumbass didn't think about a lot of stuff being AI, and I'm like, there's like Chat GPT. What more do we need to know?
What else could there possibly be?
I wouldn't need it. So in doing that, I kind of Googled it, and it came out that there are approximately 70,000 AI companies worldwide as of 2025.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it blew my mind. And then it did lead me down a certain level of searching some of this stuff to see if it's something I could use. Because I'm not even going to pretend that I don't use chat.
We do.
I was waiting on a thank you, Goose.
I almost did it, and then I was like, oh,
We happened to see a MiG 48. No, but we
AI.
bullshit. We do use the old chat on a pretty regular basis, so that he has a nickname to us, which is my old buddy Chat.
Oh my gosh, I was laughing. Well, the dang chat now, they're coming out with like where they're like, you can just talk to your chat GPT and it's like your therapist. And I'm like, what? Who's doing? But then I'm like, it makes sense because I think about this younger generation and how, I mean, don't they're not as social, right? They're not as socially skilled as we were because we grew up without a computer in front of us. We grew up without phones in front of us. We grew up without all that. And this generation has grown up with that stuff just always in their face. And so they are not as maybe socially skilled in certain areas. And they get maybe embarrassed to talk about things. And I mean, how many times have you Googled something just completely ridiculous that you're like, like, what's this? Why do I got hair on my nipples? I mean, something like that, right? You can ask,
Right.
You could ask Google, or you could call a friend, and you don't want to be embarrassed in front of your friends, so instead you're gonna ask Google. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with like, I'm using Chat GPT as my therapist because I'm actually too embarrassed to talk to a real person. So instead, I'm gonna talk to Chat GPT about it.
Okay, first off, that totally makes sense that kids are doing that. And then I was giggling because I was thinking as often as I use Chat GPT, I still don't make an account on there.
Oh,
Did you?
no, hell no.
But like I'm hiding who I am. It knows my IP address. I think it knows what's happening. It knows who's asking these stupid questions. I'm like, if I avoid making an account, it won't know it's me.
You'll never know.
I'll never know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and so because I use Edge on my computer, that's my well, I use Edge, and so my chat is it's called Copilot, and I like that name. I'm like, yeah, let me get my Copilot out, see what's going on.
Ooh, I like that. Oh, I wonder. So I use DuckDuckGo on my phone
Huh?
more often than not. But even on DuckDuckGo, it pulls up as Chat GPT. So I was like, oh, but Edge is a different browser or whatever. So the Copilot, huh?
All Copilot.
I like that. I like that.
Me and my Copilot get
It's just, yeah, get things done. I just think like how useful it is, how much we can gain from it and utilize it and stuff. But you also have to think about the fact that is it taken away from that creative process?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're in our 40s, so we were raised with some form of critical thinking, having to pull out dictionaries and look up words and learn things in a certain way. And nowadays, doing a school paper that you got to write a 3-page paper, these kids can pull up chat.
Oh yeah.
Right? And just use it for that, which I have heard that schools have a way of running papers through a system that it can tell if it was written by AI or something.
Yeah, there's like it can recognize algorithms or something. I don't know. I'm sure the school would actually have to be able to afford the program. I mean,
Uh,
so
okay.
private school that might be an issue, but I'm guessing these public schools can't afford it. So you're probably okay, kids.
I mean, you just think about that, right? Though it really does take away some of that creativity, or I don't know what side of your brain does all that, but the creative thinking side of your brain. Even honestly, I mean, shit. We just admitted we use it for sometimes coming up with quiz questions.
Oh yeah.
But I do feel as if we still use our creative brain in the fact of let me word this the right way to get the answer I need. It just makes me wonder what's this going to look like for this next generation coming up with it right in front of their face at all times.
So what I've also seen is you can have AI write a book for you and then you publish it online, and I'm like, what? If you want to be a writer, because we're talking about taking away that creative process.
Yeah.
Purely taking away a whole creative process for somebody writing a story.
What do they just, what do they put the synopsis in there and then make it write the book, you think?
I mean, I guess so. I've seen ads for AI will write you a book, and I just saw a friend of mine on Facebook. Like she posted that she answered some random questions about her dad. She was getting him something for Father's Day. So she answered these random questions, and then AI wrote this whole book about her dad. But it's just like a funny, like fantasy story. It's not a real story. It's just a funny story. But that's what she's giving him for Father's Day this year.
Oh, dang! That's what I need some ideas for that. So that's funny.
But
like, hey yo.
And like that, I'm like, oh, that's cute. And I mean, it's just a little book she's getting for her dad. It's not like she's trying to publish that on Amazon for a reader
right.
get paid for it or whatever. Like that's not what she's doing with it. And I'm like, that's kind of fun and cute, but
I I don't remember the app that was being used, but I had a friend last year who had AI write a song for him.
oh yeah, okay, I've seen that.
And he was like, he was in the country, so he's like, you know, just set it to country music. It was hilarious. I mean, I could not tell you how many times last summer we played that song just for the hell of it because it was so funny. Because it was like, oh, that is so true. And you just, yeah, gave it a few like set like qualities about you,
Yeah,
whether it be, you know, I like to drink whiskey or whatever the case was. And then it just made a whole like song. And I'm like, that's insane, but it's fun.
yeah. And that's fun for, like I said, like people who aren't already creative and want to do something kind of just fun for that. But I think it's
Right.
the way the ability to be creative for other people, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I don't know. I'm sure there's something out there that can do stuff even artistically,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like pictures, and it's just, it's wild, I guess. And, you know, I'm
I,
sure there's, well,
so
there's
there's,
probably studies and I don't know anything about them,
I
but
saw,
I just think about how this world's going to look in 20 years after all this AI usage.
I saw something the other day. Well, kind of like looking up things and trying to figure out some quiz questions, right? So like I'm doing a little AI research, and it was just talking about how this one AI did a painting, and this painting sold for like $100,000 or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's insane. And I mean, I don't want to go down this whole rabbit hole, but I start thinking about stuff. So there's like this statistic that 82% of all companies in the world are either using or exploring the use of AI. And
Mm.
so it gets your head rolling and you start thinking about what does that look like? How does that, it can replace so much of your job you're doing that you or I might be doing. And it's like, well, where does that lead us? You know, even 5 years from now,
Oh
when
yeah.
AI is doing all this, that people don't need to be working a 40-hour work week because now the AI is doing it for you. Or, and I see this shift that will probably start happening with maybe, I might be living in a fantasy world, but people going out more and gardening or reading books again because they're going to have more free time because AI's taking over some stuff.
Maybe. Well, so I know what I've been seeing is there's this school. So speaking of like what's AI going to be doing next? So there's this school, it's called Alpha Schools, and it's a private school, but they're using AI as teachers for all the academics. And then they do still have, I think, what they're calling mentors there to do like one-on-one like
Oh,
life skills lessons. And the big draw is like the kids are only using 2 hours of their day on academics. The rest of the time is spent on life skills, which I think is hilarious because I'm like, yeah, that's called homeschool. That's what. Uh, um, but they're just using these
but
AI programs to teach the kids, and the kids are crushing it academically. I mean, they're outperforming their peers by like 90%, I think.
okay, that's kind of awesome because it's almost combining homeschool with a traditional school. How we
Yeah,
talked in our homeschooling, like some people don't have the option to homeschool because they do need to go to work.
right,
So they need their kids to be at school. But then if they're actually getting life skills, that's kind of cool. I don't
right.
know. That sounds interesting. How many locations do they have? Or are they everywhere?
Yeah, no, they're not everywhere. It's like they only have like two locations. I think only like two locations right now, in Austin and in Miami. But they're getting ready to expand, right? And they're going to expand out to like California, Arizona, New York. They're going to have more coming in Texas. They're going to have more coming in Florida. So, but
Dang.
it's, like I said, it's like a private school. It's pretty. I want to say like the tuition was like 40,000.
Oh, damn.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going back to homeschooling.
I could
That's
be wrong.
badass tuition, dude.
Like, don't quote me on how much that tuition is. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's listen, low income families ain't going there.
Well, I
So
mean,
those kids are already behind.
we will start.
I like those kids that are already behind could actually use a program like this. They're just going to be falling further behind their peers. Awesome.
Right. I was going to say, let's not start about how the system is rigged to ensure that happens anyway. So, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that is interesting, though, because as we were saying, like, what does that look like as these kids grow 4 or 5 years from now with the kids that have the AI as part of their growing up? And you're saying they're performing higher, which is interesting because maybe this won't affect it in a negative way. And then they are out there getting life skills as well. So it could be a really positive thing. I mean, I try to look at it as positive because it's already out there.
Right.
I think it would just become a matter of not succumbing to the wrong sides of it. Like you were saying, if you want to write a book, then enjoy that process and write that book.
Yes. Yes.
And maybe don't use AI for it. There's a Ninjas or Butterflies podcast. I have not watched it. I saw a clip of it. Actually, Casey sent it to me, you guys. Casey sent it to me. But it was talking about how 11,000 English nouns dropped in usage by more than 80%. And it was terms that were connected to boundary setting, identity, and memory recall. And the thing behind it is like once a noun is no longer used for extended periods of time, people tend to forget about it.
Right.
And they were saying that this was based on AI. So, for instance, as you're using chat to write your book or whatnot, it would avoid some of those nouns.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're using it to help write an email or something, it's going to avoid some of those. And I don't know enough behind it. It's been a book I've always wanted to read and I never made time. I don't know why. 1984.
I know. I always want to read that book too, and I have.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know why I've never read it. Like I've wanted to multiple times and I have plenty of time to read. It talked about that in a different respect of, I think on the more like government side of using, I'm going to not even think of the terms now, to be honest with you, but using terms for, like individuality,
Freedom.
yeah, freedom, stuff like that. So I'm like, that's an interesting thought. If AI were to like take over the world by doing its own, you're like, oh, I'm going to use it to write a book and I'm going to make millions writing that book, except you didn't write it. AI did. And AI took all these nouns out of your book,
Right.
but you didn't even notice because it sounded so good when you read it and you didn't have to really write it. So that works. Hey,
Right.
It's just an interesting, I'm like, oh, what kind of times are we living in? And what is this world going to look like when we're in our 80s, man?
Shoot. I don't know. Probably have robot grandkids.
Like the robot dogs or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I made a little fun of it. But when Big J got those glasses,
Oh yes.
aren't they're AI glasses, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Big J's goofy. He's pretty high tech. That fella is. Everything in his house is. I have to talk to Alexa if I need a light turned on, and he has them all set up to like different colors, and you just say like you want. I'm trying to remember. Like he's like I don't remember what he calls them all, but there's a different colored lights and this and that. It's ridiculous, is what it is.
I remember because he showed us the one that was what do you say? Set the mood for meditation.
Oh yeah, set meditation.
And, and it like turned, all the lights went down, and then a meditative music came on the TV. I'm like, what is happening
Uh-huh.
here?
Oh,
I was, I had seen a ad for those glasses the other day, and I thought it was so funny. I thought of him, and I meant to text and say something, and the girl was like, "Now look," and she turns, looks at a shelf behind her, and turns right back around. She goes, "This is what these glasses can do. Can you tell me the name of the book on that shelf with the white binding?" And immediately, like, the glasses are like, "Here it was." This and that. I'm like, it almost, how it reminded me of having oh shoot, what's that memory thing where you like remember everything?
photographic memory.
Yeah, yeah, photographic. Yeah, and I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, those glasses can give you some photographic memory.
Right. I know.
It'd be fun, but I don't want to wear them. Like,
I know. And what's funny is he really doesn't wear them either. He hasn't really like ventured out of the house or whatever with them. Like he's warm around the house, but I think he also doesn't like how he looks in them.
well, there. We got to look good when we leave the house, right? So, wow.
So I think, I don't know, I think a lot of the things with AI can be super useful. I think, of course you see all the movies. There's all the movies about, whenever AI starts actually having robots in the house and these robots start killing you. Oh my gosh, I showed you that article because we were talking about the companies that use AI, and I sent you that article about how there's this company who was kind of testing their AI.
Yes.
And I am going to forget the numbers, but like 86% of the time. So what happened was the AI had access to the company emails. And so they would start talking about needing to update their AI or replacing it. And like 86% of the time, the AI would start trying to blackmail the engineers based on the fact that the AI believed that the engineer was having an affair because it could, like they were setting it up that way. So like 86% of the time, the AI was blackmailing them. Like, no, don't get rid of me. I'll tell everybody that you're cheating on your wife.
Gonna self-preserve.
Yes.
There was there was a movie I watched a while back. I don't remember the name of it, but this couple was married. They had a daughter, and there was an accident or something, and the mom was in the hospital. Oh, they had two kids. I think a little baby and then a 5-year-old or some shit. Anyway, the mom was in an accident, was in the hospital.
Right.
And the girl ends up like so he hires the robot maid or nanny. Yes. I don't want to ruin it for any of you, but I'm just gonna say they end up having to kill it, him and the wife, because the robot maid like takes over to a point of saying she wants to be the wife.
Right.
And she's gonna kill the wife because I was like, this is wild. But 10 years ago I would have thought this is absurd and out of control, but hilarious. I don't ever see it happening. And now we live in a time where I could maybe see that happening. This is wild.
Yeah, I know. I think the same thing when I see those. There's a lot of the movies out right now, where it's a robot and it's, taking over, killing people and this and that. And then you're like, oh, that seems crazy. And you're like, maybe not so crazy.
Well, and as you were saying that email, or that you'd sent me that article too about the email with the AI is going to protect itself and self-preserve. And it, again, would have seemed completely absurd to me, except they're doing these studies and it's happening. And
yeah,
you're going to have to explain this article, or you're going to have to explain this podcast to your robot grandchildren.
Well, and I say that, but like kind of laughing, but I'm also like, I mean, they have those sex dolls now that are super realistic, and eventually, I don't think they're robotic yet, right? Like, I don't think that's happening, but they have like very realistic dolls, and they're working towards something that's robotic. Which, I gotta be honest, only a guy would be stupid enough to stick a piece of his anatomy in a machine.
I would. Could you imagine if there's a glitch? Oh. You choked too hard. You choked the chicken too hard.
They probably gotta come up with some way to reattach appendages quickly before they release anything robotic, I guess. I don't know.
That robot's going to have to be trained in sex and surgery.
I'm like, oh geez, we'll end up with these half robot, half human grandkids. Who knows? Grandkids marrying robots. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna get wild out there.
I was going to say marrying them or something, thinking like, I found my soulmate. You programmed your soulmate, but okay, you do you, man.
You did program a really great one. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna program mine to be like a really hard worker that goes to work and I
Yeah.
don't.
That's a great idea right there. You know, not quite on that, but there was someone showed me the show My Strange Addiction.
Huh?
I've only watched a couple, but they're a little wild. And anyway, I just found like clips on YouTube. This lady on there had married, I'm going to mess this up, but an old carnival machine. Not going to pretend she didn't live in Florida, you guys, but anyway. It was a dumb episode, but I was thinking about it. You're saying like I'm going to train my robotic husband or whatever to do all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I would too. But I was thinking about this lady. She really married an old machine. I was like, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
But I'm talking like a carnival ride, like not like that did not look like it was a carnival ride. It was insane. But just made me think about this, like the level of crazy we might go to.
Yeah.
But that might seem normal one day though, marrying a machine.
Listen, I honestly I can't imagine that we're that far away from it.
Well, I'm going to do everything I can to steer the kids away from doing that.
Yeah, my kids won't be doing that.
Yeah, I'm not going to promote it to anyone. Unless it's just for work purposes so they earn you money.
I mean, if it's going to be a sugar daddy, that's fine.
Yeah, program. And I'm going to program it to just keep working. Like, okay. See, they say we can program a sugar daddy. I might be on. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am interested after all. Might be my new thing.
Oh.
Well, I will say, our lesson learned and growth earned on this is it's a great idea to learn AI, even if it's just Chat GPT. It can be useful and helpful. But remember, it's not a replacement for your own knowledge and your gut instincts. So use it wisely and let it help guide you, but don't let it think for you.
In our next episode, we'll explore family relationships. You're going to get our hot take on it. Thanks for listening. Until next time, go out there and be your favorite self.
And if you're enjoying what you hear, be sure to leave a review to help others find us. And make sure to like and follow on your favorite listening platform to catch all our future episodes.